know that Colombia and South Korea have had a free trade agreement since 2016? Today we'll explore how this relationship has evolved and what opportunities exist. At first glance, trade with an Asian country like Korea may seem distant, but this agreement has opened new doors for strategic sectors in Colombia. The connection between Colombia and South Korea runs deep not only in trade but also in history and diplomacy. Colombia was the only Latin American country to send troops for the Korea War, a decision that strengthened ties between the two nations and paved the way for future economic collaboration. Since then, the relationship has evolved from political cooperation to a stronger commercial partnership. However, the biggest leap occurred in 2016, when the free trade agreement between both countries came into effect. This agreement was designed to expand access to the Asian market for Colombia products, reduce tariffs, and boost foreign investment in strategic sectors.
Today we will talk about the trade relationships between Colombia and South Korea. It links its evolution since the FTC of 2016. These decade sectors that have boosted bilateral trade and the opportunities and changes that Colombia faces in the market. First, we will review the history and impact of the agreement, then we will analyze the most relevant products and sectors in both countries. Finally, we will discuss the growth potential and the strategies necessary to strengthen this alliance.
The free trade agreement between Colombia and South Korea was signed in February 2013 and entered into force in July 2016. This agreement represents Colombia's first trade agreement with a country in the Asia Pacific region. The FTA aims to eliminate practically all tariffs between a period of 10 years, benefiting Colombian exports of agricultural products, processed food, and manufactures. In addition, the agreements cover areas such as investment, trade in services, electronic commerce, and telecommunications, which seeks to deepen economic relations between trade in goods. For South Korea, 2031 tariff codes were identified with potential for growth and additional trade in Colombian market, anticipating the increase of imports of these products.
South Korea is a key supplier for Colombia in strategic sectors such as technology, the automotive industry, and chemicals. In 2022, imports from Korea reached a 1.6 billion with vehicles and auto parts, according to 30%. Brands like Hyundai and Kia have gained significant market share in Colombia. We also import chemical and pharmaceutical products essential for manufacturing and healthcare, as well as medicals and technology to modernize our industries. These imports have improved in Colombia competitiveness, but they also pose challenge, balancing the trade deficit and diversifying our exports to South Korea.
Colombia has mentioned the position producers such as coffee, flowers, charcoal, avocados, bananas, sugar, and iron nickel in the South Korea market. Benefit from the tariff reduction after the FTA, despite this advanced trade remains asymmetrical with Colombia, exporting mainly raw materials while South Korea sends high value-added products such as technology, machinery, and chemicals. To balance this trade balance is the key to strengthen diversification and increase the competitiveness of Colombian products in strategic sectors.
Colombia has established itself as the main supplier of flowers to South Korea. In 2022, Colombian exports of flowers to South Korea reached $13.4 million, which represents the 49% compared to 2021. In 2023, these exports totaled $2.6 million. Colombian companies such as Agrícola, Circasia, Osimo, Follajes, Eleden, Jacaren, and a lot of more have participated in these international events in South Korea, such as the Yoagacan Korea International Agriculture Festival, one of the most important flowers exhibitions in Asia. These companies have contributed to extend the presence of Colombian flowers in Korean market. This demonstrates the ability of Colombian companies to enter and stand out in the Korean market, diversifying the country's exports offer and strengthening the trade relations between both nations.
Korea is a demanding market in terms of quality, but it is also willing to pay premium price for differential products. This presents a great advance for sectors like especially coffee, exotic fruits, and seafood. However, it's not all easy. Colombia faces major changes in consolidating its presence in Colombia. Competition from other countries in the region, such as Chile and Peru, which also have trade agreements with Korea, forces us to improve our competitions. Additionally, logistical burdens and export costs pose a change for many Colombian companies looking to enter this market.
Colombia has great potential to expand its trade with South Korea in the key sectors such as agribusiness and renewable energy and agriculture. The Korean demand for premium products opens up opportunities for the export of special coffee, exotic fruits such as avocado and bananas, as well as finished products. According to Guerra Baron, the signing of the FTA with South Korea has been key to strengthening Colombia's presence in Asia Pacific and improving its competitive demanding markets. However, geographical distance and high logistical costs continue to be challenges for Colombia's ports. In the renewable energy sector, South Korea has intensified its transition to clean sources, which represents an opportunity for Colombia in the export of green hydrogen and strategic minerals such as nickel and copper, essential for the technology industry.
The FTA between Colombia and South Korea seeks to extend the bilateral relationship through the progressive elimination of the tariffs and the inclusion of key sectors such as investment in services in order to expand and diversify the economic exchange between both countries.